Samson, the biblical hero known for his extraordinary strength, lived a life of epic battles and shocking betrayals. But behind the legend lies a deeper story of love, loss, and redemption. What led to his downfall? Was it his love for Delilah, or something far more profound? Buckle up for a journey through Samson's incredible life, his triumphs, and ultimate sacrifice. Discover the untold secrets and timeless lessons from the strongest man who ever lived. In ancient Israel, a devoted couple, Manoah and his wife, faced a heartbreaking reality. They were childless, yet their faith never wavered. One day, an angel appeared to Manoah's wife with astonishing news. "You will conceive a son. He will be a Nazarite, dedicated to God from birth. He will lead Israel against the Philistines." But why such strict rules? No wine, no unclean food, and never cutting his hair. What was the real reason behind these conditions? Shaken by the angel's message, Manoah's wife hurried to her husband. Manoah, seeking confirmation, prayed for divine guidance. God responded by sending the angel once more. Manoah asked, "What are the rules governing the boy's life?" The angel reiterated the strict guidelines but left one question hanging. Why these specific commands? Manoah offered a sacrifice, and as the flames rose, the angel ascended in the fire, affirming the divine nature of the visit. Astonished, Manoah and his wife named their son Samson, like the sun, and raised him according to the angel's instructions. But what lay ahead for this divinely chosen child? Samson's strength became legendary, and he soon challenged the Philistine oppressors. During a visit to Timnah, he encountered a lion and, with shocking strength, tore it apart. But why did this incredible act of power become a pivotal moment in his story? Later, as Samson was traveling to Timnah for his wedding, he passed by the carcass of the lion he had previously killed and discovered that bees had made honey inside it. He took some of the honey and shared it with his family, without revealing its source, showcasing his bold and unconventional nature. At his wedding feast, Samson posed a riddle to his Philistine guests. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. The riddle puzzled his guests, leaving them desperate to uncover its meaning. Driven to find the answer, the Philistines coerced Samson's wife into persuading her husband to reveal the riddle's solution. She pleaded with Samson until he finally relented and told her. But the question lingers. Would she betray Samson's trust by sharing the answer with her people? And if she does, how will Samson react? Before we dive back into Samson's story, if you're still watching, it means you enjoy our content. Subscribing is great, but it won't ensure you're notified when we release new videos. So hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest biblical stories. Your next adventure is just a click away. At another time, Samson visited his wife, but his hopes were dashed when he realized she had been given to another man. In a bold act of revenge, Samson captured 300 foxes, tied them together in pairs, and set their tails ablaze, unleashing them into the Philistine fields, which were soon engulfed in flames. The Philistines, in their fury, retaliated by taking the lives of Samson's wife and her father. Consumed by grief and rage, Samson waged a one-man war against the Philistines, striking them down with unmatched ferocity. Seeking refuge in a cave at the rock of Etam, Samson found himself surrounded by Philistine soldiers. The men of Judah, fearing the Philistines' reprisal, urged Samson to surrender. Reluctantly, Samson agreed, but only if they promised not to harm him. As the Philistines closed in, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson, filling him with renewed strength. Then, with nothing but the jawbone of a donkey in his hand, Samson fought back, single-handedly defeating 1,000 Philistine soldiers in a stunning display of courage and might. After the battle, exhausted and parched, Samson cried out to the Lord for relief. In a miraculous answer to his prayer, water gushed forth from a hollow place in the ground, refreshing Samson's weary body and soul. One day, Samson went to the city of Gaza, a stronghold of the Philistines, and spent the night there. When the people of Gaza learned that Samson was in their city, they surrounded it, intending to capture him at dawn. But Samson was not one to be easily captured. In the middle of the night, he got up and went to the city gates, where he found them securely fastened. Undeterred, Samson tore the city gates from their hinges, bars and all, and carried them to the top of a hill facing Hebron, a city of the Israelites. It was a remarkable display of strength and defiance, showing the Philistines that even in their own stronghold, Samson was a force to be reckoned with. Time passed, and he fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sorek. The rulers of the Philistines saw an opportunity to capture Samson and approached Delilah with a tempting offer, a large sum of money in exchange for discovering the secret of Samson's strength. Delilah, enticed by the promise of wealth, repeatedly asked Samson to reveal the source of his strength. "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued," she said. 3 times he deceived her, telling her that his strength would be weakened if he were bound with fresh bowstrings, new ropes, or if his hair were woven into a loom. Each time, Delilah tested his words, only to find herself deceived. Finally, Delilah said, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. So he told her everything. "No razor has ever been used on my head because I have been a Nazarite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man." While Samson slept, Delilah betrayed him, cutting his hair and robbing him of his strength. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and brought him to Gaza, where he was bound in bronze shackles and forced to grind grain in the prison. Could his story end here, or was there a glimmer of hope left? Despite his downfall, Samson's hair began to grow back, a sign of God's mercy and restoration. The Philistines, unaware of his regaining strength, brought him out to celebrate their victory. Samson, leaning against the temple's pillars, prayed to God for strength one last time. With a mighty effort, he pushed against the pillars, saying, "Let me die with the Philistines." The temple collapsed, killing himself and all the Philistines inside, including the rulers. Samson killed more people in that single event than he had during his entire life. Thus, Samson's life ended in a final act of strength and redemption as he sacrificed himself to deliver Israel from the oppression of the Philistines. Samson's story, though marked by flaws, is a testament to the power of repentance and divine faithfulness. But what other legendary figures have faced their own dramatic turns of fate? Click here to discover Deborah's mastermind strategy that led the Israelites to an unexpected and triumphant victory over their oppressors.